This principle right here that I'm going to share with you in a little bit changed my business. Flight day today. We're supposed to go to Philly, but there's a little bit of snow. Rutland? I like that. I like that. My girl is over there. We're not flying her today. Look at this beauty right here. Look at this girl. What's up, guys? Let me pause this. I was really hoping to do this in the air today, but we weren't able to get it done. It was a little loud, and I didn't have to adapt to make sure that everything sounded right. So we were going to talk about how to pay yourself. A lot of business owners aren't paying themselves, and it's crazy. So I got a question the other day from one of my friends who's actually following this principle that I'm going to share with you, but she's having a little problem because she's still not paying herself enough, or it's not growing, okay? So this principle right here that I'm going to share with you in a little bit changed my business, and it changed my personal life once I not only learned it, but when I executed on it. All right, I was able to leave my full-time job. I just left in April, my full-time job. I was able to put a whole bunch of money in the bank and do some of the things that I want to do in my life. All right, and I'm going to share that with you. So first, forgive me, I'm not at my office right now. I'm working from home. I don't have my tripod. I do have this right here, so I'd love to have my tripod and have a conversation. But you're going to have to forgive me and go along with this, all right? So first and foremost, let me put this on here. By the way, we're just going to have a fireside conversation. I got the fire going right here, a little pellet stove for the New England cold. Let me just make sure everyone can see this. So four simple steps to paying yourself, all right? First and foremost, before we even go into this, you have to forget the traditional way. Forget the traditional way that you think that you have to do it. And the traditional way is this. We start a business, we get customers, we make money, and then we reach a break-even point, and then when our business is profitable, then we pay ourselves. No, it is horrible. Profit isn't something that you make, it is something that you take from day one, all right? So a great book to pick up is called Profit First. I don't remember the author's name, and a lot of times when I'm giving you book recommendations, I'm never gonna remember the author's name, all right? It's an awesome book, and this book, the principle that I'm gonna show you is built on this book, all right? First and foremost, the main principle behind this is this. If I put a plate of food in front of you and it's a big plate, you're more likely to eat the whole thing or a bigger portion. However, if I put a smaller plate in front of you with a good portion, you're gonna eat that. All right, so this is how you want to treat your business when it comes to the money coming into your account. You want to treat it as a small plate. A lot of times we see that our business is growing and we're getting more money in our account, the sale revenue is going up, and for some reason we're still not making that much profit. So what you want to do is you want to start eating from smaller little plates. But before you can do that, you have to know your numbers. Know your numbers. You know how many people don't know their numbers? It is crazy. You have to know your numbers, okay? And if you pick up the book Profit First, it's going to help you figure out those numbers. Or you can reach out to me and I can help you figure out those numbers if you want me to. All right, so I run my business by a set of three main numbers, okay? Three main numbers, and that helps me determine what are my costs of goods sold, what's my operational expense, and what's my payroll. What's my cost of goods sold, what's my operational expense, and what's my profit. I want to know at the end of the week, at the end of the month, how much am I going to make? I spent 3 years before I learned this principle right here, not taking any money home. It'll be 1,000 here, 1,000 there, maybe 20,000 for the whole year. I had to get a job. It was crazy. The minute I learned this, literally the first month, it was nuts. All right, so you got to know your numbers in order to do this, okay? So once you know your numbers, you have to set up some accounts. Now, we have a few different accounts in our business. Let me show you this. So this is what we're talking about when we say eat from a small plate. I have my income account. Anytime a sale happens in my company and money's transferred, deposit, whether it's Stripe, whether it's check, PayPal, wherever the money's coming from, it is going to this main account and no other accounts. And from that main account, I divvy them up into my 3 accounts. The first person that gets paid is me. All right. I spent too many years not getting paid for me not to pay myself anymore. I pay myself, big happy smile, ear to ear, baby, ear to ear. All right. The next thing that I do is make sure I transfer my payroll, my cost of goods sold. And I know exactly what everything is going to be, what percentage I should transfer, because one, right here, I know my numbers. Next, operational expense. I have an operational expense bank account where I transfer money from the income into there based on that percentage. Now, from the operational expense, that I have 4 other bank accounts. Okay, so I have my marketing, my tax account, my equipment for my company, and my in case shit happens account. All right, yeah, sometimes stuff happens and you need to make sure that you're prepping yourself for when these things happen. So I'm not going to get into the exact percentages, but these numbers have been true in my business for 2 years. 2 years, they have not changed. And this has helped me scale my business, revolutionize my business. It's been amazing. All right. So step number 4 is just do it. Just do it. Just do it. You have to do this. Knowledge is nothing. Knowledge is just potential. Potential of greatness, okay? That's all knowledge is. It's useless without execution. Execution is worship. You have to go after it. You have to just do it. I'm telling you, it works. Trust me. Trust me. All right, listen. Some of you are probably never going to execute on this, and that's okay. But for the small percentage, the 5% that's actually going to execute on what they see, I'm telling you this works right here, okay? Now, to answer my friend's question, she said, hey, I'm doing all of this right here. I'm following these steps, but for some reason I can't pay myself more. And one thing that she said in her message to me was, I'm only transferring in my profit account enough to cover my bills. And if there's a little bit extra in my operational expense account, then and only then do I transfer maybe 100 and 200 into my profit account. Okay, so here's the answer to your question, okay? The reason why you're only able to do that is because your operational expenses are too high. So the minute I implemented this, what I did was I went through and I printed out statements upon statements, at least 3 months, and I started going through red pen. So you have to go through and cut unnecessary fat from your business. Trim the unnecessary fat. There's so much fat in your business that you don't even realize. There's a lot of softwares that you actually can go without, okay? And there's cheaper ways to do certain things. Start cutting unnecessary expenses. Look at it and say, does my business really need this? How does this affect another part of my system? And if you don't need it, remove it. Start eating from a smaller plate. When you start eating from that smaller plate, okay, you're able to pay yourself a little bit more. Now, I'm not saying take out necessary things that make your business run. Take out the unnecessary fat. Trim the fat and make it work, okay? So 4 simple steps to paying yourself. 1, forget the traditional way. It doesn't work. 2, know your numbers. Set up your account. Just do it. All right. Hey, so one of my friends, Megan, she has a bookkeeping academy. So she's a business owner. She owns a cleaning company as well. It's a pressure washing company, window pressure washing company. She's also a certified CPA, and she's following this exact process. I'm telling you, somebody who went to school to learn accounting is following this process right here to run her business, and she's doing so successfully. She has a course called Bookkeeping Academy. It starts in January. I'm gonna tag it here in my post. Check it out, and it's gonna help you out because she can explain all this way better than me. And make sure you pick up that book, Profits First. It's phenomenal. Just do it. Take care, guys. It is day 7.